Check out this river down here, folks. Okay, this isn't just any river. This is the St. Croix. And so, when we think about where we're going to put political boundaries on the landscape, oftentimes rivers are used. And this particular river was chosen as part, anyway, of the political boundary between Minnesota, which is over here, and Wisconsin, which is over here. So Wisconsin on the east, Minnesota on the west. The boundary upstream follows the St. Croix for a while, and then it goes off in a due north and then does some jogs up to Lake Superior. Down this way, the river flows to the Mississippi, all the while having the boundary of Wisconsin and Minnesota. So boundaries are good places. Our rivers are good places to have boundaries because they're not completely stable, right? Rivers meander, so sometimes you have interesting places. Like if you watch my movie on the Red River between Oklahoma and Texas, you'll see that I was actually standing on the south bank of the river, which was the old boundary, which is the current boundary between Texas and Oklahoma. But since the river has meandered, the boundary stays fixed, and I was on the south bank of the river, but I was still in Oklahoma because the river has meandered and the boundary is left where it was marked in the late 1800s. So very interesting. But here, the boundary of the St. Croix is the boundary between Minnesota and Wisconsin. Now, interestingly, when rivers are chosen as boundaries, what oftentimes you have is you have to choose which braid of the stream. If your river forks and has braids in it and different channels, you have to choose which channel will be the boundary. So that makes for some interesting political geography as well. But rivers as boundaries, quite often done around the world. There are famous rivers as boundaries throughout time. We've got national boundaries that are rivers. We've got state boundaries and administrative areas like provinces and states that are boundaries. And these make for interesting discussion in geography classes. So a little discussion here on the boundaries issue. In this case, the boundary between Wisconsin and Minnesota, the St. Croix River. Beautiful place.